Hello? Guys, got a different mic. Week saying the music's different, but it's not. We're just learning how to use things without a mixer currently. Just dialing in the music. One moment. I can turn this up a little bit. Good. Amazing. Hi, welcome. Happy Friday, everyone. We got a new mic set up because we are just having a ton of issues with the old setup for whatever reason. So definitely let me know how the audio is and what you guys think of it. But I think that we will have an amazing time with the DJI mic that we ended up picking up. So let's see how today's stream goes. I'm excited. It came in just in time too. So thank you, White Dove, for the 56 months in a row, my friend. How are you today? I think I can go one up higher on the pick. Nice. Okay, we had Kimmers in here first. Thank you very much, Kimmers. Hello, Tina. Esef, welcome. I don't know if I've seen you before. Samo's listening to it. He's going to figure it out. Hi, yet it is. Good to see you. Greek, I hope that you are home safe after all of your fun things last weekend. And yeah, today's stream is going to be pretty fun and pretty easy too. We're going to make 3 different things. Sourdough bread. We're going to try a new recipe that I discovered from one of my favorite YouTube channels called More Than Farmers. And she actually shared this recipe from somebody else online. So we're going to try that recipe today. And then this bread is going to be turned into stuffing homemade on Sunday to go with our smoked turkey because it's Canadian Thanksgiving this weekend. So we're having like just a yummy weekend of cozy home style foods. We're also gonna make today, while the bread is like proofing and baking, one of my other favorite things to have homemade during the holidays, which is cranberry sauce. I bought a big bag of fresh cranberries today and we're going to make a nice pot of it. And we make a citrus cranberry sauce is my favorite with orange juice in there. Just something different than pouring out a can at the table. And if you're like me, I like to always like bring over homemade things to people as gifts. Like if you go somewhere that somebody else is cooking for you, you should always bring something, even if they tell you not to. So cranberry sauce is a good one. And then we're also going to try our hand at some pumpkin coffee creamer. I thought that would be interesting to try. So yeah, let's get into it. I linked all of our recipes for us today too. A bunch of new ones for me, let's say, other than the cranberry sauce. There's our menu. And let me know if you guys have any questions as we go along. We had a good week. It's been busy. Been making plans for the weekend to see my family. What are you doing? Saying, listen to this? That's kind of, I don't know if it's going to be able to do that, but I'll try my best. Okay, so what we usually do, I don't know, it feels weird. What we usually do on stream is make a list, a prep list before we start. So I'll always open up all the recipes that we need. You guys can follow along. And then we always start with the longest process first, which is going to be our bread today. And because I've never made this recipe, I was kind of reading it over. I'm hoping that we'll be able to get the bread loaves in the oven by the end of stream. But depending, honestly, on the temperature of the house, which I'm trying to keep it a good temp for proofing bread, we'll see how long it takes. I've never made like a proper sourdough like this. Boom.
Cutouts.
No cutouts. We got it.
I think the audio for music is good.
Sweet.
Find that was good.
I couldn't hear anything. At all. So I just talked. That's why I was like, I don't understand what's happening.
Okay.
But if they say it's good, then it's good. I saw I went up a little bit high there. So I'll turn it down. And you're very welcome, guys. Like, we do this because we know that you appreciate it so much. Why did the music go so loud just now? Okay. He's still doing things.
It just switched songs. Oh, you're down to 8.
I know, I'm just watching where it is on the OBS mixer. Okay, so Yet It Is says, I love, love, love pumpkin spice coffee. So I picked this up the other day. I don't usually like buy fancy coffee creamers, but I don't know. I was feeling festive the other day, so I picked this one up for us. And I've also heard good things about this online from some other people that I follow. And I've also been trying to stay away from the oat milk too, but this one's yummy. I thought it tasted pretty good. Not too fake. Like, I'm really picky about things tasting very fake or like overly sweet. But we will try our hand. I found one from our favorite baking recipe page, Sally's Baking Addiction. So we'll see how that one turns out today. And if you guys were wondering, pumpkin pie filling, like the caramel that was left over, that all went into coffee, and it's been actually so delicious. I thought maybe it would be weird because there's like eggs in there, right? But it actually is amazing. It like makes it nice and thick, and the heat from just brewing a hot coffee over it like pasteurizes the eggs, and it didn't go weird. So we might make a couple little renditions to Sally's coffee creamer today. Do like a mishmash of like pecan pie filling and pumpkin spice. We'll have fun with it. Are you guys having a good week so far? I don't think we have too much to update other than me just like going to work like usual. I think that's pretty much it. Oh, Samo got a second interview actually from one of the places that... Yeah, from one of the places that he applied to, and he also got his new driver's license on his birthday. Sam's birthday was on Monday. It was a good week, guys. Okay, so first things first, our bread. So the sourdough bread is the same as like any other bread process. Just keep in mind that it's gonna take a lot longer to make when you just use the natural yeast, because you're really just relying on it by itself. No addition of like, what should we say, factory made processed yeast. So that's why it always takes much longer. But I was also thinking today maybe we'll sneak like a little bit of yeast in just to make sure it rises. There is one thing, like when you are gonna make sourdough bread, you want your starter to be very, very active. You don't want it to be kind of sluggish, like how I've been only feeding my starter like maybe once a week or once every 2 weeks, even sometimes. So I think she's a little sluggish, even though she looks awesome. Like I fed her last night at 10 p.m. before I went to bed, and I think it was like the amount was chilling around this half liter, and I believe it's already come up and down by the time I went to sleep. Turn the mic just a bit down. Hey, you're sluggish too, Gaffle Bitters. I actually am a bit sluggish today. I don't know. It's like rainy and gray out, and it's just like a nice cozy day. Chilling inside in the kitchen. You love sourdough bread? This will be my first rendition of sourdough sandwich bread. But I watched someone make this on a YouTube channel this week, and it looked phenomenal. It makes 3 loaves. So I thought we'll make 2 regular loaves of bread just in our regular like bread pan. And I'm gonna play around with the 3rd loaf. Try and make it like in a pumpkin shape. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that online. But we'll play around with the 3rd loaf just since we have so much. Okay, so bread. First things first, we'll have to make the dough. That usually takes like about 20 minutes. 10 minutes to like get everything into the bowl, and then usually 10 minutes to mix it. And then we will let it proof. Hopefully within the hour, but like I said, it might take longer. What we are waiting for is for the dough ball to double in size. So I always just say, like, take a mental picture after it's done mixing and then wait for it to double in size. So it might take an hour, it might take longer, but we can always just set that hour timer to give ourselves that timing so that we don't get behind at all. Okay, so after it has been doubled, then we always divide it into the loaf pans. And then after that, it has to proof again. I believe she said double in the recipe that I linked, like double the size in the bread pan. But I don't think that might like lead you guys astray. What I usually wait for is the bread to just start hitting this edge of the pan, and then it's ready to go in the oven. You can go a little bit more, but then you risk it overproofing, and when you overproof, the gluten strands get weaker, and then when you go to bake it and it rises, it might actually fall back down. So we don't want that to happen either. And then let's just see, I always look at the baking temps and timings. Natural yeast sourdough sandwich bread. Yum. Bake at 375 for 30 to 35 minutes or until the internal temp. So they only bake it to 180 degrees Fahrenheit internal. I usually go 195. Baking is chemistry. It is totally part of science, right? I think that's why I love cooking so much, because I love science. Okay, so 375 for about 30 minutes. That is the nice thing about our little sandwich loaves like that. They only take about half an hour. You go like to a sourdough boule or something that you bake in like a big cast iron bread pan. Those usually take like around an hour, and then they even take longer to cool off too. So sandwich bread is key if you want it done quick, and maybe we can say buns is even quicker. Okay, so that's that. So hopefully we'll be able to taste the bread today. If not, though, we'll be on stream tomorrow together and we'll taste it then. And then while our bread is going, we'll make our cranberry sauce. Nice little one pot wonder, and then we'll just jar it up when it's done and into the fridge. A cast iron bread pan. Yeah, you've never seen them? I forget what the brand is, but I don't think it's like Staub or Le Creuset, although they might make their own too. But it's like a flat, like cast iron dish. You have like a nice wide surface on the bottom, and then there's just like a little lid that you pop on top. And then you can easily take it off to like brown the bread at the end. I've seen them, I don't have one. I've only ever usually done it just in my Dutch oven. I think the only advantage is it's like fancy. I try to not have like one-use things in the house, so that's why I said I've always just made my sourdough boules like in my big cast iron pots instead. You always need something that has a lid so that you can keep the steam inside when you start it. Yeah, if you've never seen them before, cast iron bread pans, look them up. The thing about cast iron, right, is that it's going to hold the heat a lot nicer than just something like aluminum or stainless steel. Why do they have to do this to me? A possible ban invader, obviously. 1 second, guys. Thanks, Samo. Okay, so we'll get our cranberry sauce going somewhere in between our bread proofing times, and then same with our pumpkin coffee creamer. The one nice thing about making your own coffee creamer is that you can really control how much sugar that you put into it. You can also make it like not sweet at all, because some people don't like sugar in their coffee, right? But they want a little bit of flavor, and then you can just add your sugar on this side. All right. Sourdough sandwich bread. There's a lot of good reviews on this too. They say prep time about 25 minutes. total time, it might be like 20 hours. So just know that. Like, we might be mixing the bread, letting it proof, dividing it into the pans, and then I might not be baking it till like either later tonight or even tomorrow. If it gets too late, I'll just throw our bread into the fridge overnight so it doesn't proof, and then we'll bake it tomorrow instead. That's always a possibility. Okay, so for 3 loaves, make sure that you have enough bread pans first before you start this recipe. Or like I said, you can use like frying pan or whatever with parchment in it. 2.5 cups of warm water, or I really like this recipe, they give us grams too. So we'll set up the mixer and we will get our scale and all of our ingredients for our bread. We got our starter over there. I also had a little bit of starter, like discard, that I took out before I fed her yesterday, just so she didn't explode overnight. That's always a scary thing that could happen. Gets a little too excited. They use honey in this for sugar. I've used maple syrup before, just like cane sugar. Honey's also good. You'll get a really nice floral flavor if you use the honey, so I'll let you guys decide. There is 1 egg in here, and then she also uses coconut oil, but I'll just use butter instead. So it will be a nice rich dough too. Anytime you have dairy and egg, that's what helps keep your bread really nice and soft. Everyone have a sip of water. Okay, so I gotta go grab the honey. And then it's just salt and then your unbleached all-purpose flour. How did the blanket project go? Amazing. It went awesome. I forget total time that the blanket took me, but I know that the first stream where we really started like sewing it together was around 5 hours. And then maybe it took me like 2 more hours on my own just to finish up the seams and stuff, turn it outside and finish it up. So it went really good, and Sam says it's the nicest blanket he's ever had. Like, as far as it being really nice and thin feeling, but it keeps you warm. Love that about cotton, right? I had to get a new bag of flour today. But I was happy because it was on sale. And I've been in the habit this year of only buying organic flours, both whole wheat and white, to feed my starter. I wasn't sure if you guys noticed, but my starter is a mix of all-purpose and whole wheat flour. Just find that you digest it a lot nicer when you use the whole grain. And then lastly, our honey, which I think we'll have to just heat up a touch. I think it's crystallized a bit. But first we'll get the water going with the starter. Probably a small sprinkle of yeast. I'm cheating today, but also trying out something like trying to make a quicker loaf of sourdough bread. Not waiting 20 hours. Who in here has made sourdough bread before? Or I guess even eaten it. Baker Vuke, you're alive. How are you doing? It has been a long time, I feel. I always just say that's okay though, because life happens. Just glad when you guys do pop by. We are doing some baking. How did you know? Okay, grab the scale now. Anytime you use a scale for measuring your baking ingredients, you'll always have a better product. And you also know that if you make the recipe again, it will turn out the same. There's a lot of variance in size of measuring cups. Give this a little wipe. And the size of measuring cups and measuring spoons varies a lot, I have found. That's why all the good baking recipes are in grams, because when you go to baking school, that is how you are taught to bake. You will not pass the course if you can't do basic recipe conversion math like that. Your schedule has been hit or miss on when you get time to food with friends at certain hours lately, but getting back to normal now. Perfect. I don't have enough pieces of flair on my apron. These are all pins that I've collected over the years of cooking and streaming. Some people have also sent me pins that they've wanted me to put on. So that's always fun. It's the one apron that I put the pins on. They kind of know that. Your baking teacher was your mom? You passed, you think? I think so for me too. I am the pie master. Okay, so water in here first, and we want it lukewarm. We don't want to kill the natural yeast in the starter, so 578 grams. Let's grab a couple containers. We'll zero that. Grams. Get our water. You made peanut butter cookies a few weeks ago. Everyone who had some said they were very good. But your mixer almost died. Yeah, there's the blanket.
There's the blanket. It's amazing. It's my favorite.
If we measure the temperature of the water for this, you want 95 to 110 Fahrenheit. Let's see how I did.
It's like totally Minecraft.
And then I didn't even know until you guys said it. I was like, Minecraft?
Right now, if you're still around, here's the size of the bake. 2%. In comparison to Caitlin wearing this before.
This goes to show how much technology changes in like not that long of amount of time. What did I say? 578? 578. And also know this.
Like working really quick.
Also know this. When you make bread, depending on where you live in the world, will really determine like how much water and flour you will have to use in your bread. Elevation, humidity, all of that stuff is a factor when you bake bread. Not really like when you bake pastries and cookies and stuff, a little bit, but not nearly as bad as when we are baking with yeast. Okay, she said combine 2 cups of active starter with the water, honey, oil, egg, and salt. Add your flour 1 cup at a time. You got it. Okay, next one, 400 grams of starter. I'm just gonna zero this container, and then we can measure into this one that already has a little bit of discard from yesterday. Okay, so now we know we have 154 grams in there. Beep. What did they do, guys? Technology changes, but Samo stays the same. Bless. I love that. That was so cute. Look at this. She's so happy. Sometimes the like bubbles have little rainbow bits on them. It always makes me so happy. So the one thing we gotta do before we use this is give it a stir. And then I'm also gonna talk about right now, if there's anyone in here that wants to start using sourdough starter in their life, give me a message. I'm gonna be dehydrating a batch of it before Christmas time. so that I can send it out in little packets to you guys. It'll be pretty inexpensive. It's really like light to ship, right? There's no weight to dehydrated starter. Basically like sending a piece of paper. I already had one of my mods ask me, so since I am going to be doing a batch, I thought I would just offer to any of you guys as well. Doing a double feed on yours today, making some multi-batches of Cinna rolls. Right? Like, if you don't have this in your life, you're missing out. I'm so happy I made a starter again. Because this is honestly what's been helping me be able to enjoy bread and stuff without getting really bad digestive things happening. We're going for 400 grams. Just under, I think that's fine. Give that a little swipe. I'm not scared. Like, some people are really particular about like keeping their starter clean. As long as your hands are really clean when you're using it, don't worry about like using your finger to wipe off the fork or anything. Did I fall behind in chat? What's happening? Okay, so now that we have taken that out, so basically I fed my starter enough that I knew I would basically use half of it today. So now you can just put that back in the fridge until I want to use it again, and then I'll feed it, and the same process happens over.
She'll feed.
So we should get that into the water now, and then I will do my little sprinkle of yeast. I think I'm just gonna do a teaspoon. See how this goes. There's a mixer for $100 at Walmart. What is the name of it? I guess if I put the honey in here, if it's crystallized, it'll probably melt into there. What do we think, Sambo? Let's give this a little stir-y first. Oh, I always have it unplugged because of the scale. And Carceramum? What? That's the actual brand? Carceramum? Boris says, tech changes, but alas, Sam stays the same. A testament to the wise person who once said that the more things change, the more they stay the same. Oh my gosh. Why do you gotta do that? Okay, I'm gonna use my spatula to get this sticky stuff out. He's causing a ruckus with the ice tray. Look at this goodness, though. He's causing a ruckus with the ice tray. If you want to see how good this machine works, like, yes, I know I use it almost every week, but I'm a part of the Facebook group for this mixer online, the American one. I forget what it's called, like USA Incarcerum users or something like that. But people post in there, like, they will bake breads and, like, take it to the farmer's market and stuff. Like, these mixers make so much food. It's amazing. Okay, next one we'll do is the honey, just so that we can kind of feed the yeast with it. Anytime that you put sugar in your bread with the yeast, I always say it's like giving us an espresso shot. It's just like a little energy boost. So the sugar is not always necessary in bread, but just know that if you leave the sugar out, it may take a lot longer to rise. Is creamery butter somehow different than regular butter? I would say yes, Jiggles. I think I don't know. What is the difference? I'll just know it's more expensive. Let's look it up. This is what we do here on this stream. Sweet cream butter contains pasteurized cream, water, milk solids, and sometimes salt, whereas regular butter, on the other hand, uses fermented milk or added cultures to it. The amount of water in creamery butter is less than regular. So that's why it's better. So creamery butter is more expensive than regular butter because it has less water content. What flours do I use for my starter? I use Anita's Organic Mill, both her all-purpose flour and the whole wheat flour. But I've also used like some local milled flour as well. But everything's been organic. Okay, back to this. What was it? 235 grams of honey. That actually seems like so much. Maybe that's why it rises quicker. See what I'm saying? Who's this? It's Michael. Hello. How are you doing this week, dude? Got any hot pepper things planned? Nope, I used to use a KitchenAid mixer until I couldn't even make a batch of cookies with one that I bought new from Costco. This was like 10 years ago almost now. And then at the time I was still working at a restaurant and we had a really good supplier that told us to try out this brand of mixer. We ordered it directly from them. I'm only gonna do 200 grams of honey because this is so much. Like I said, you could always put less sugar. Just know it might take a bit longer. I'm stopping here. If you don't lick the honey spoon off, you're an actual monster. KitchenAid is alright. It's good for small amounts of stuff. But like before, when we were doing food for friends and cooking for like 20 people every weekend, there's no way that KitchenAid would have held up. Let's get that warmed, not get it too hot. We don't want to burn anything in here. I'm just gonna give this a little mixer-oo as well while we're waiting. And then next we'll do the butter and then the egg. And then the salt and the flour. Let me in. The 60s and 70s KitchenAid mixers are legit. Yeah, I've always said, like, I once upon a time had a hand-me-down KitchenAid from my grandma, and it honestly worked like 1,000 times better than the new one. That's when I really knew that they were starting to like cheap out on how they're making things, right? The built-in bowl scraper, it is very handy. Yeah, this is the dough hook and scraper. It also comes with a roller. I don't know if you clicked on the link, but there's a lot of accessories it comes with, and then a whole other bowl for like making cookies and stuff. 71 grams. Ooh, 84. I guess that was pretty close. I don't know if anyone was in our Discord channel this morning, but we went to Costco for a few groceries. And we got there, like, first thing, always. The amount of pumpkin pies that they baked off, because it's Thanksgiving weekend in Canada, this weekend. Like, we didn't count them. I just had to take a photo, so you can go see the photo in Discord. But Sam counted the amount of pies on the table in the photo when we got home. 850 pies. Or around there, at least. It's like, in what world, like, people don't bake for themselves anymore? Right, Greek? That's what we were saying, is like, they're honestly probably all gone already. I was like, come on. Like, I understand it's cheap, but holy smokes. Now they're more expensive, where they used to be less before. Gaffle says they're still $6.99 in Ontario. What the heck? Are they just doubling the price here? Like, that's what you said, right, Gaffle? $6.99 for the pumpkin pie from Costco. 71 grams seems weird. Is that like an equivalent from tablespoons? Yes, Jiggles. Yeah, they give us like the cups and tablespoons and also grams. So the 71 grams was a third of a cup. Good question. I'm just letting this cool off because it did get a bit warm. Get this. That got a little warm too. It's okay. We'll just give it a swirl. Like, that is so much honey, guys. No wonder everyone said it tasted amazing. I'm gonna double check this one more time before I pour it in. Yeah, 3/4 of a cup of honey. Give the yeast the coffee. Shot of espresso. Right to the face. We're not making pumpkin pies this weekend, guys, but we are gonna make some pumpkin crumb cake muffins on Sunday. I thought we would make pumpkin pies together when it's American Thanksgiving. Make like little tarts, something like that. Bite-sized bitties. Okay. Just gonna whip that, and then I'm just gonna measure out the flour, and then we're done with this scale. Clear the area. So we gotta use up this from here. And we want 8 to 8.5 cups of flour. So like 1,320 grams-ish. But remember, this is 3 loaves of bread. There's that old stuff gone. FIFO. First in, first out. Now, you guys can see. So this is the other company. Or this is the like main company, let's say, that I use for my flour. Anita's Mill. And then there's just one other mill or farm that I use locally here, but it's quite expensive. And it's Durham Wheat Semolina. I think I'll just actually use scissors and snip all of that off. And this is anywhere from like $20 to $25 per 5 kilos. And it's still Canadian. Where is it? Yeah, it is milled in Chilliwack. I've been there before. Okay, let's get this measured before the scale turns off. We might have to do a couple renditions of flour, I'm thinking. I think if we do about 500 grams at a time in the container, and then eyeball the last 300 as we're adding it, we should be good. Okay, let's start with that. And then the only other thing really don't want to forget is your salt in your bread, because it will taste so bland. I'll just set up the scale behind us so that we can start mixing the bread. Okay, first things first. Ooh. We'll center this for us. We'll do the egg. One large egg, and I always just kind of whip it up a little bit on its own before we add it. And then our fat, butter, coconut oil. I'll use any other fat that you want. And then lastly, the flour and the salt. You're almost always disappointed by store-bought pumpkin and pecan pies. I think they just like keep making things cheaper and cheaper, right? It's like every year it gets more expensive and it tastes worse. And then I'll set a 10-minute timer on the mixer. Let me turn it on here. For us to mix this. Should be around that time. Nice low speed. Let's add the salt in while this is mixing. 1 tablespoon of salt. If it's like getting kind of weird and not doing anything at first, just give it a little help. But I always add the salt at the end, guys, because salt is a yeast inhibitor. I've only had this happen once before, where I added the salt together with the yeast to make the bread, and then the bread didn't really rise the same. So I've only ever had it once, but it was a really big batch of pizza dough, and it was just really frustrating to have that happen. So then we looked it up after that first time, and then we learned that. So ever since then, I always just add my salt together with the flour. Let the yeast do its thing on its own. Sweet potato pie is a thing in Canada? I don't think so, at least not out west. Maybe like closer out east in the Maritimes and stuff. Okay, I'm gonna measure my other 500 grams back here while that's going. Excuse me, even like sweet potato casserole is not really a thing in Canada. Okay, now we have enough flour for all this liquid. There we go. Oh, Black Rook Bakery. The most insane coconut cream pie I've ever had, guys, from that bakery in Vancouver. They're closed? No. Inside of the pastry for the coconut cream pie, they did like a layer of dark chocolate and let it harden. Yeah, insane. It was so dang good. Okay, let me get our other 300 grams of flour. And then see what we need to add here, because it looks a little loose. But not too bad, actually. Come a bit closer now. So we want this to be like pulling away from the edges of the mixer. Let's add about half to start. And we'll wait again. You hate sweet potato pie? People say it tastes just like pumpkin, but they lie. I can see it being a lot more watery. And like, I'm also a picky sweet potato person. Where like, just the texture, if it's too mushy, is weird to me. I don't know. Okay, that looks like a pretty good amount of flour that we added. I don't know if I would add any more. think we're good. And so other than the bit of whole wheat flour, whole grain in our starter, the rest of this is all all-purpose flour or just white bread flour. If you want it higher protein, use bread flour. That's the one thing you'll get from that, and you'll just have like a nice firmer shape. But I don't bake a ton of bread every week. I usually bake bread every 2 weeks. We'll use 1 loaf a week, go through that, and then we'll make it again. The honey smell in this is phenomenal. Okay, so I can see how the edges of the mixer are starting to kind of clean off. We're not gonna add any more flour. And I'm just gonna turn up the mixer just a touch from the lowest setting. So that much flour going back in the bag from the extra 300 grams. But I will say, like, I live in the prairies, so it is drier here always. I don't live somewhere humid. Now while I'm waiting for that, you can fill up our flour bin again. Get that put away, and then we'll just use up from the bag. Whoa. I always hate this part because it goes everywhere. Oh, it actually does say on the bag here that this is unbleached bread flour. I never really read the bag before. I just saw that it was organic white flour, so I was in. If you find that it's doing this, it's pretty firm. Just pull it away. Give it a little help. Anyone, like, do we have any Canadians in here doing stuff for Thanksgiving this weekend? I messaged my clients before stream to see if I need to go over there on the holiday Monday. A lot of times they don't really celebrate the holiday on the Monday, so I'll go cook for them instead. Make a little extra cash. Don't get it caught in the mixer. I've used this mixer for years. I definitely wouldn't do anything that would, like, injure myself. That is also the one benefit of this mixer, is that you can, like, stick a spatula and stuff into it while it's running, as long as you're careful, right? You know what you're doing. I wouldn't do it if you're not confident. But yeah, you don't have to stop and start it every time. Left my spatula over here. But look at us building up our gluten already. Let me turn this a little bit down again. Clean off the scraper on the edge. Then you can see how the mixer does a really good job of, like, rotating the dough from the bottom to the top as it rolls around the hook. We have about 3 or so minutes left to mix, so it's almost done. You could also tell with how firm it's getting. And then we gotta wait for it to proof. Gonna bring the honey back. Get rid of the scale for now. Your mom took a chunk of wooden spoon out in the mixer? That's crazy. This mixer is different, right? Because the bowl spins. It's not the the attachments that are moving. And you couldn't even find it? That's scary. Probably had to throw out everything then, hey? That was in the mixer. Okay, last thing. Just a little bit of plastic film to cover this to proof so it doesn't dry out. And put away all the things we don't need. I have the sous vide out here. I'm sure some of you might have spotted it in the background already. So we're gonna sous vide our prime rib for tomorrow's stream. I think we'll prep it up today all together, and then in the morning I'll pop it in the water for us. It needs 8 hours. This is what I did for my clients on Wednesday this week. They like their beef cooked more medium. I've been cooking it in the sous vide for them and then just finishing it in the oven, and they love it. Yeah, it works so good that I thought that I would try it for salmon myself too. You were just watching Gordon Ramsay's best voice crack compilations. Had you doubling over, you were laughing so hard. I don't even know if I've ever paid attention to his voice cracks. It's so embarrassing though when that happens and you're the broadcaster. But what can you do, right? It's not like you can help it. It's just a thing that happens. Okay, push this back here. We got our 2 bread pans ready to go. Maybe I'll get out our other baking pan for our pumpkin style loaf. And then next up we're doing cranberry sauce, so let's get out a big pot. Got probably not even a minute on this. Just thinking about what I was grabbing. The parchment and the plastic. Okay, I'm gonna tear parchment. Let me know if it's loud, guys, with the new mic. That was it. It wasn't loud. Okay, we're completed. So we always do a window test when the bread is done its mixing time, just to make sure that we have built up enough gluten. And you can see at this moment, it's really sticky. I hate this feeling on my hands, but it's really necessary. So we are going to pull the dough apart until we can see through a window. You see that where it's really clear? So we want that all the way around. We can see through the window without it really tearing too quick. So that seems actually really nice. Really nice texture of dough. I think we can get away with taking this all apart and letting it proof now. And then we'll see how long it takes with this extra 1 teaspoon of yeast that we added. Unplug it all. The window test, just throw it at the window. That's like when you test pasta, if it's cooked, you just throw it at the wall. Easy. I should have a segment where I have Samo come in and I berate him for not doing something perfect. I feel like that's a daily occurrence on stream. He just laughs. This is heavy. I've not made this much bread in a while. Okay, first, get all this flour cleaned off. So the 10-minute mixing time was perfect, guys, with all the things that we did. Cannot complain. You like to throw pasta on the ceiling, try to get people to stand under it when it falls? Yes. Ugh, that'd be like the worst feeling, sticky noodle in your hair. Surprise. Okay, now we're going to get this stuff out. Look at this. It's like cement. Hey. If your bread or dough is like this after it's done mixing, you're gonna have really good bread. We worked that gluten. And like there was a time not long ago when I couldn't even eat bread. So the fact that I can still eat bread is pretty amazing to me. There's some sad times. A pasta surprise. There's things like that that make me miss like working in a restaurant. Pranking your coworkers, having fun like that. Still to this day though, on my bucket list, I've never been involved in like a legitimate food fight. I would love to do that still. Although like probably wasting the food would affect me now that I'm older, but I just think it would be so fun. Okay, so I usually try to get this worked into somewhat of a dough ball before we let it proof. A couple stretches. And then we'll take our mental picture of how much dough is here. So this should be full. This mixing bowl, completely full to the top before we go to divide it into the pans. That was my sink, just rinsing my hands. And then we'll get this covered and put to the side in a nice warm area. Not hot, just warm. So usually somewhere around the stove or maybe top of the fridge. I don't know how your kitchen is. Some people do a towel on top. I always do plastic that you can see through. And then even sometimes I find that the towel, it will get a little bit dry on top. So I just do the plastic now. Pretty sure that box of plastic has lasted us like over 5 years, so I'm not too concerned with that waste. You were in a food fight in college? Your dorm versus another one, like 150 people? Snuck out before it got broken up so you didn't get busted? Yeah, because if you got busted while you were there, you'd have to clean it all up. Wasn't me. That's what you did, Jiggles? A good old wasn't me. Okay, I'm gonna wipe off the board. It's a bit floury before we go to our next step. And then I'll set an hour timer on my watch for the bread to proof. Because that would be a typical timing of just a regular yeasted sandwich bread. So let's see what the difference is today going more sourdough than yeast. This is a first. You just sit on your bowl of dough like a mama bird hatching an egg. So I should bring it over to Samo then in the corner. He's nesting. He'll be like a brooding hen. No, don't take my bread. The cutest bread bird. Okay, I'm gonna have one more sip of water. Oh, that sucks, Jiggles. They had to wash dishes for like 2 weeks. That's the punishment, hey? Okay, bread, dough, check. Proof. 1 hour timer. Boom. There we go. Next up, citrus cranberry sauce. Let's see what these steps are. Got a big bag of cranberries from Costco today too. I'm glad that I did. Because even though the ones were on sale at the regular store, think it was 2 small bags of cranberries for $8.49 was the deal or something like that. I got this entire bag, 900 grams, for $5.50. So I thought, you know what? I'll just make a big batch. And like I was saying at the beginning of stream, always a nice thing to gift to people if you're going to potlucks and stuff during the holidays. Never pass up homemade cranberry sauce. And we've made this before on stream because I went back in the Discord archives in our recipe section and found this citrus cranberry sauce. Let's see when it's from. You're going to do dishes, but you'll be around. Okay. Thank you for the lurky. Let's see what year we posted this recipe for cranberry sauce. 10/04/2021. Almost 3 years ago to a T. We made this cranberry sauce on stream. I love doing that. Going back in time. Okay, so she says 6 ingredients and 15 minutes is all you need to make the bright and flavorful citrus spice cranberry sauce. Love it. And I will say it's honestly that quick. It's a one pot thing. Put everything in the pot, let it cook, and you're completed. And it stays a long time in the fridge too once you have it made. It's basically like a jam preserve, right? These were packed on September 30th. So nice and fresh. I guess that is true what she says. Cranberry sauce is often just an afterthought at holiday meals, but I'm really particular with my turkey. I love cranberry sauce with it. And then also, it's nice to have the cranberry sauce for your leftovers for turkey. You can make like cranberry turkey brie paninis are always yummy. Different things like that. You can use cranberry sauce up in desserts too. So we got options if there's a lot left over. Okay. Scrolling down to the actual recipe. 12 ounces of cranberries, fresh or frozen. Hey Siri. I think my Siri. Oh, there you go. How many? Oh, hey Siri. How many ounces is 900 grams? 31 ounces. So we're making at least double this. We'll need some light or dark brown sugar, some orange juice, zest of 1 orange if you have it. I don't. We just bought orange juice today, organic. Cinnamon stick, and any other spices. They do cloves. I might do a pinch of nutmeg instead. Okay, so let's get our pot and we'll start pouring everything in. Combine all ingredients in a saucepan, set it over medium heat, bring it to a boil, cook until the cranberries pop, which is also very fun. If you've never made cranberry sauce at home, they like start popping the cranberries. It's such a satisfying sound. So they'll pop open and then they will start to cook down about 15 minutes or so. That's it. So dang easy, and then we'll make our creamer after that. Cranberries. Did you guys know that cranberries are a superfruit? I don't know if I did. What is this about? Maybe their level of antioxidants or something? Now we need to look it up. Cranny bees. So these ones are grown in the States, but I also know that we have some pretty big cranberry farms in Canada too, because I've driven by them. But I don't think I've ever seen it marketed as a superfruit before. Yeah, the bogs, right? I always thought it would be so dang fun to just go work at one of the cranberry bogs for the day. Just for like a day. One of those things like dirty jobs. You just go do it for a day. What, a cranberry bog? Is there lots of spiders? Oh no! I'd be freaking out. Chase says cranberry bogs are crazy, guys. I believe it. Guys, is this true? Last break? Hi, Gearbox Man. You're doing it. We're making it through, guys. It's Friday. Okay, cranberries are native to North America. They now grow on around 58,000 acres of farmland around northern United States, Chile, and Canada. 58,000 acres needed to grow cranberries for the world. That's not that much, actually. It was interesting to walk through and be in during the flood, surrounded by edible Orbeez. Oh no, not the Orbeez. I saw the funniest TikTok of a dog that ate Orbeez. I'm sure you can imagine. Okay, so cranberries are native to North America. They also even grew as far north, like when we worked in Nunavut, you could pick the cranberries wild up there. So they grow different, right? Because they're not growing in the bog, they're growing on tundra. So it was a little bit different variety of cranberry, but still there. Yeah, TikTok Greek. Watch, now that I said it, the dog that ate Orbeez on TikTok, you guys will have it pop up on your feed. So many people consider cranberries to be a superfood due to the high nutrient and antioxidant content. We all know that the cranberry juice is usually drank for your UTIs. Yes, very good. But it also is known to prevent certain types of cancer. Antioxidants, that's really important, right? That's going to clear out all the bad things that are in you. So all of your like dark foods, like all your berries and stuff like that, purple cabbage, anything that's colored like that, very, very good for you. It will decrease your blood pressure, improve your immune function. How cool is that? There's even a strand of bacteria in cranberries that may help teeth from decaying. Fun. They got a range of B vitamins in there too, which I know is always a hard one. I think you can only get B vitamins from your food or a supplement. That one's a hard one to find too. Okay, let's get into this. That's our cranberry knowledge of the day. You're welcome. So we should all eat cranberries. Hi, Ernest! How are you guys doing? How is the start to the school year? I can't believe how fast time is flying by. Do I need to give you an email or anything with what's coming up? Let me know. But I almost have my menu finalized, so don't worry. Fun fact, while we're on the subject of berries, blueberry bushes take 10 years to mature and start producing any type of substantial fruit. 10 years. A lot of fruit trees are like that, Greek. A lot of berry trees, it'll be around 4, or bushes, about 4 years before you even plan to get any fruit off of it. So it's a big commitment, right? When you grow things like that. But you know, after all that time that you wait, that there's going to be a very plentiful harvest. So worth the wait every time, right? All right, let's get our pot. And then I'll just kind of eyeball to follow this recipe. It's 111 here. Or at least that's what it says on the stove, which looks like the stove is ahead. If you have extra cranberries that you don't want to use, you could also just freeze them. Just put them into a container or a bag and just freeze them straight from fresh. You don't have to blanch them or anything. But I think that if I do that, I probably won't use it up fast enough. So I'm just going to cook them all today. And then we just kind of watch as we pour the cranberries into the pot for any bad ones, any mushy ones or discolored. Getting ready for something fun and crazy in November. Guys, my alumni series dinner that I'm doing at my culinary school, that's coming up quick. So anything like this, where the cranberries are like squished and kind of stuck together, that's all we want. Whoa, and maybe any that are really green like that. I can imagine it would make it taste bitter. There was like a big pile of bad ones. Maybe it's a good thing we bought so much extra. These were grown in BC. These ones say US, but I know that usually like we get Canadian cranberry, so I don't know why Costco brought in American ones. Maybe that's who they partnered with. Like any really white ones too, guys. That's just gonna be insanely sour, is what I'm imagining. And yeah, you want a really big pot to start, but you'll be pretty amazed once these start to cook down. You won't have nearly as much. Our berries are infiltrating the north. How could it be? Okay. That's what I always thought too, Greek, that it was Canadian, but I guess it's both. Was there any other stipulations on this? No. Okay, what we are gonna do first though now, before we put anything in here, I'm just gonna pour some water over these and then drain it out, a little rinse-a-roo. Give it a little swish around. Just like any other produce. And I'll just use the pot lid to strain that water out. Not that they really look dirty, but there might have been a couple leaves and stems on there. Yeah, see, I see them floating up to the top. Okay, now we can start to get our other stuff into here. What did I say? Orange juice, brown sugar, some spices. Who's this? Gens Baruto. Ayo, lil sis, you're straight up slaying for real, for real. Your stream be bussin', no cap. We got that main character energy. Keep that grind set going. That was the greatest note ever. Thank you very much, whoever you are in the world, and I hope you have a wonderful day. And also welcome to the stream. If you enjoy food, give us a follow. Alright, we got that orange juice. We need cinnamon sticks, not ground, that we can take it out after. I'm gonna do a pinch of nutmeg instead of clove. And then some brown sugars. Okay, first I'll do the orange juice. So this is that. If you want more citrus flavor, I would say buy actual oranges so that you can zest them. You'll get a lot more citrus flavor from the zest, not just the juice. How much of this do we need? So we're gonna double it. So it said 2/3 of a cup. So I'll just do 2 times that. Maybe even an extra third. That's 1. 2. Do a bit more. Because we had just over double for the recipe. So that will live somewhere in the fridge after this. Now our brown sugar. You guys have never had cranberries before. They're very sour. I would say there's probably not even any sweet flavor to them. We're gonna need a couple cups of sugar. I think I've also seen white sugar be used for this before if you didn't want to use brown. You could even use a mix. One more small scoop. It's like making a sand castle, but with sugar. The OG Ocean Spray is Plymouth County in Massachusetts. It wasn't us, Greek? Dang. Now we know. Whoa, sorry. My bread bin's alive. Hey, next up. They said 1 cinnamon stick for the single batch, but these are really long, so I was just gonna snap it in half. That looks good to me. I don't want it to just taste like cinnamon. And then lastly, just a little pinch of nutmeg. Or you could do cloves. Nom. Now we're gonna go over to the stove. Just set up my view a little bit, one moment. Okay, Greek, so now that you looked it up, where are most of the cranberries grown then in Canada? Gotta raise you guys up on the stove cam so that we can see in the pot. They grown in Delta? That's what I thought. Okay, how does this look? You think it's Richmond? How does this look? Oh no, it doesn't look like anything. How come there's no GoPro camera feed, Sam? So I just have to press activate? It is now. Hello, Devin. How's it going today? There's 700 like cranberry operations just in Canada, you're saying? And I'm gonna just close down the window now. It was like so hot this morning in here. Now it's finally cooled off. But we don't want it too cool because we're trying to proof bread. She's a fickle entity, that one. You've been waiting a month for me to go live? I was literally just on last Monday. Where have you been? It works. We got it. You've been around? Us too. Okay. I am going to go down a little bit for us. Why does it look so purple and pink? Let me turn the light on. That looks better. Looks so festive. Let's go. Well, we want this to boil, so let's go like 7 medium-high heat, and then we could put the lid on too to start. I'm just going to take a spoon and just push the sugar down a little bit. The sugar will start to melt in once the heat starts steaming up. We got orange juice on the bottom, so nothing burns. Yeah, that will take a few moments. We still have 38 minutes on our dough, but it is starting to rise and look nice. And while we're waiting on our cranberry sauce, we're gonna get into making our pumpkin coffee creamer. The brown sugar, cranberries, and a cinnamon stick. Yeah, we're making cranberry sauce. Have you ever had that before? Richmond and Quebec are the biggest producers of cranberries in Canada. Number 1 is Wisconsin. Greek, thank you for looking all that up. Now we learned something new today. Day is complete. Chiggity check. You're not the biggest fan of cranberry sauce? Maybe, well, let's ask you this then. Have you ever had it homemade? Because I don't really love the canned ones either, but I really love the homemade version. It tastes a lot different. Like, not as, like, weird gelatiny and stuff like that. And I find with the orange, it goes really nice with the turkey. Okay. Homemade pumpkin coffee creamer. Chase, making fresh cranberry sauce is much better. That's how I was raised. My mom would always make fresh cranberry sauce. Like, even if we were going somewhere to have turkey, just bring a jar of cranberry sauce and everyone will appreciate it. That would make like an interesting texture. Add a little bit of dried cranberries too. It's kind of true, right, Devin? Almost everything homemade is better. Can we even think of anything homemade that can't be better? Maybe like if we went really like processed things, right? Like I probably can't make as good of an Oreo as they make out of the factory. Things like that. But when it comes to like actual food and cooking meals and stuff, homemade's always better. That's why we're here together to learn. Okay, so from Sally's Baking Addiction, one of our favorite online dessert recipe blogs. I did not expect to find this coffee creamer recipe there, but we did. She says you can make flavorful homemade pumpkin coffee creamer in less than 15 minutes and enjoy it all week long. Made with real pumpkin puree, no artificial flavorings or preservatives, you can feel good about adding a splash of it to your coffee. This is another thing I thought could be nice if you make a bigger batch. I know American Thanksgiving is like a whole month and more from now. Give it as a gift to somebody. They'll say thanks. You're coming over for Thanksgiving? Okay, see you Sunday. Smoked turkey's on the menu. There's popping going on the stove already. We'll do this view for us. I can hear them popping underneath. Maybe we'll actually go over and give it a little stir. I did see that they have an operation in Chili Greek. They're worldwide for sure. Oh, it is getting heated up, the orange juice. You can mix in the sugar too. That's also another reason to keep the lid on this while you're getting it started boiling. Just because if the cranberries pop, like it could put some hot liquid on you, right? You don't want to get burnt. I will leave that for another little bit and we'll come back. Okay, we'll switch back to that view for now. This recipe for the pumpkin coffee creamer is from 2015. She made it. And she's made a couple of renditions, she said, over the years to make it even better. I'm also going to make a little bit of changes to it too, I think. Like, this is one thing that we have done this week, is we had the extra pecan pie filling. I said this earlier on stream, but we've had a few more people come in since then. So extra pecan pie filling. Thank you, Scaramouche, for the 101 biddies. Also for the lurk. I hope you're doing good. And then we use this up as like caramel in our coffees for sweetener. But the thing is with this, there's like a little bit of egg in there, but it is so good. So then we can also think about like eggnog when people drink it, right? Just like makes it thicker and richer. And I will say, like, this in coffee has been amazing. I've been reading up a little bit about like how you should drink coffee so that it doesn't affect your body in like negative ways. You should always have coffee with like some higher fat things. So whether it's cream, milk, eggs, anything like that. Like I've seen weird people like put straight up raw egg yolk in their coffee. I'm not gonna do that, but I will put it into the creamer so that it's like kind of eggnog-esque. You're gonna eat the filling with this spoon. Okay, so there's real pumpkin in there. More cinnamon sticks. I'll go back and grab those, I guess. We have to make our own version of pumpkin pie spice from the different spices we have. A little bit of maple syrup to sweeten it, so a nice natural sweetener. And I believe, I can look this up quickly, but maple syrup, I think, has the lowest glycemic index out of all sweeteners. So it doesn't spike your blood sugar like how cane sugar does. Yeah, it's a low glycemic index food. You don't drink coffee either, really? I actually know a lot of people that don't drink coffee. I don't think that's weird. Amazing. You put coconut oil or butter in your coffee? Yeah, so this is how I think we'll do the pumpkin creamer. Is we'll kind of start it like the pecan pie filling with butter and sugar in the pot, and it kind of makes a caramel, and then you let that cool, and then you mix in a couple eggs into it, and then you can mix in your liquid from there. And then the only thing is then you have to use it within the week if you're gonna put egg in it, like how when you make homemade eggnog too. I'll let you guys know how it is. Hi, Carsis. Hello, Wilson, guys. Welcome in. I hope you're having a good day so far. Whoa, let's go over there. We got stuff happening in the pot. Okay, so we just brought up this pot. We're making cranberry sauce. There's cranberries, orange juice, brown sugar, cinnamon stick, and some nutmeg. And now this is going to start to cook down. Turn down the heat a little bit, and this is going to turn into our homemade cranberry sauce. And then in another pot, we'll start our creamer. When you drink coffee in the daytime, if you don't, you just drink it straight up black. If you want a warm drink so you can just fall asleep right away. You're like Samo, drink coffee right before bed. What happens if you eat a cinnamon stick raw? Well, cinnamon stick is just tree bark, dried. So it would probably feel like eating tree bark. It might even crack your teeth. I wouldn't suggest it. How is everyone doing? We're doing good, Wilson. I got a new mic set up today. Ordered it just in time. It arrived yesterday. So far, so good on the audio because we've been having a lot of issues lately. So that made me so happy. Good news on our front. Samo has a second interview for one of the mines that he applied at for next week. So well wishes all around for us. I think that's pretty much it. We got Canadian Thanksgiving this weekend, so we're just doing a bit of prep today for it. You wish cheesecake grew on trees? I mean, at this point in our life, I don't see why they don't yet. Cinnamon would probably clean your teeth a little if you soaked it, so I'm just watching this. I don't want it to go over, but I think we're good. It also seems like the popping has subsided a bit, so I'll remove the lid so that we can let this moisture cook out. Because that's what we're working on now. And then we'll just come over, give it a stir every now and then. So let's now grab a medium pot. Maybe I'll turn that down even more. That's the thing about sugar, is it keeps its heat. And then we'll get a little butter and sugar going in here. Bring this creamer together. You got a new roof? Been picking up nails for 2 days now? What the heck? They just like dropping all their nails on the ground or what? There's this. And so we'll open up this can of pumpkin today. We'll use a little bit for our creamer, and then the rest, or at least most of it, will be used on Sunday for our pumpkin crumb cake muffins. Yum. They put out tires, but somehow still got nails everywhere. That's scary. Hopefully no one steps on it. And also, like, what if you have to mow your lawn? You have nails flying everywhere? That's where my head goes. Okay, scrolling down for the recipe. Butter. What we need. I'm gonna move the dough over to by the stove, or even just post it up on the stovetop where it's warm, where it's proofing. Okay, let's kind of eyeball this. I think we'll do half a cup or so of butter to start our creamer. And that's the thing, if you make this right, like when we used up the pecan pie filling, nothing weird floated to the top, like how sometimes the fat will float up. But as long as you take the right steps and make this properly, it's fantastic. There's a stick, you forget what it was called, that cleans teeth too. I have gone down the natural toothpaste rabbit hole once or twice. Don't they make it with like bentonite clay and stuff? I've always been intrigued by that. $3,000 worth of tires? You got some new tires, or is it winter tires? It's a certain plant, Greek. I don't think I knew that one. Okay, more sugar. How you know it's the holidays? Use sugar. Okay, this is the other one we're gonna use a little bit of. Is corn syrup. I talked about this last week on stream, but corn syrup is a really good stabilizer so that your sugar does not crystallize in whatever you make. If you're gonna like start a caramel, let's say. 4Runner and BMW tires? Nice, dude. I'm gonna measure this out. Half a cup of sugar. Titan seems to be doing okay. Yeah, we haven't heard from him in a bit. I'm also more worried about, like, all of our Floridians again, too, after this last Hurricane Greek. Like, I need to message FCB, or one of you can if you want, and see how he is, because where he lives got, like, hit really hard, actually, this time. And I haven't seen him yet today. Dusty, how are you doing this week? It's good to see you on this Friday. I'm gonna just make a mess with this, aren't I? We're just gonna commit. I'm gonna make the mess. It's the end of the brown sugar bin. Okay, we'll just scrape it off of the board and put it in the pot. It wasn't that bad, really, Greek. Your car shopping, Dust? Nice. I'm loving all these upgrades you're getting in your life. That's gotta be exciting. Well, if you guys are saying it's not as bad as they thought or made it out to be, well then, I guess that's okay. But we should still always check on our people, right? You test drove a Toyota Tacoma, as we call it, the taco truck. The other day, we almost actually bought one of those. We really like them. But the salesman was shady, so you passed, but you love the truck. So now you know that you love the truck. You just go find it at another dealer. Because that is a very important thing. Like, we've had that too with some of the RVs that we've been checking out. Some of the salesmen are phenomenal. Other ones will just expect you to walk in and give them your money. And it's like, dude, you don't even know the answers to any of the questions I asked you. No, we are not going over numbers today. I understand being Delulu in this world, but there is a limit. And then he, like, still was emailing us, like, 2-3 weeks after we went there. Like, sorry, I'm actually not interested. But for sure, like, if you get a bad vibe, I think more people don't do that. It's like, go where you're happy. He's still messaging you too. Okay, let's give this a stir. Look at how much it cooked down already. So we're gonna cook this down until it is thick to the point that we want it. Some people like really thick cranberry sauce. Other people like it thinner. I've never blended this before, so I don't know what would happen if you did that. I just like it nice and chunky. But I guess there's an option of blending it if you want. Let's go. I think we'll fit right there. Perfect. We'll do boop. Back it up a bit, or just go over there more. Let's go medium heat to start on this, and we'll want to whisk. And then while that's heating up, we'll measure out our pumpkin puree. We'll get our eggs whipped up for it, and then we'll measure out the cream to add. How am I gonna get the best view here? There we go, guys. RVs are so expensive. It's insane, Greek, but we're basically buying it to be our house rather than going to buy a house. But I don't trust people building these days. What is map? What is map? I don't know that either. Cookie, how's it going? How is your Friday? Are you done work? We got some stuff on the go already. We're gonna put a little bit of vanilla in for sure. Thanksgiving, I know. It's already that time of year. Well, usually Thanksgiving weekend ends up like Sam's birthday-esque, but this year it was a week later. He lucked out. He didn't have to celebrate Thanksgiving on his birthday with everyone. Okay, done with the brown sugar. A whisk, a little container. And then we also have to make our pumpkin pie spice mix while we're waiting on this stuff. That is my favorite sound too, Baker View, when the cranberries are just like popping. It's just like the best simmering sound ever. Hey, you guys just keep talking about your fucking car thing. Don't worry about me. Go look at window stickers. I like that we always help each other with like different things that we have going on. Like, yeah, this is a food related stream. We're talking about cars. Why are you saying my bad? I love it. I know it's gonna help somebody else out. Gotta have a car to get food. Okay, so we're gonna really whip up these eggies. And for those of you just coming in, we do have bread proofing on the stovetop. That's the other container that you can see. She's staying nice and toasty warm by the things that are cooking. It is also our first rendition of sourdough sandwich bread. I don't know if anyone in here watches YouTube, but I'm always discovering new amazing people to watch on there. I don't really watch cable TV or movies or anything like that. I really like to watch like educational shows. We found this family called More Than Farmers is the name of their YouTube channel. Very, very good. $100K Canadian for a Forerunner is wild. You're having fun watching food tours on YouTube. They're doing a tour of all the Texas barbecue spots. Okay, I gotta go. Let me subscribe to that cookie. But yeah, if anyone wants to, I guess, share their favorite YouTube channels that they watch, let me see what we got in Discord. I know we have, like, what, YouTube suggestions? Yeah, you can post them in YouTube suggestions. Feel free to share, and maybe I'll pop on after stream today and share some of my favorite ones that inspire me. There's nothing like Texas barbecue dust. There honestly, like, isn't. Okay, let me just go over here while we're doing this. Is it all food or just learning videos? I think you're asking Cookie, so I'll let him answer. Let's first mix this, our butter and sugars. Bring them together. Okay, food tours. Oh, for the YouTube suggestions? No, you can post whatever you want. Insider food, is that what it is? I see. Hey. Boom. Subscribe. Now we'll watch that later after stream. That's what Samo and I like to do. Fun. All right. Well, this is simmering nice on this one side, not so much on the other. Is this burner gonna even itself out? I guess we'll find out. Let's also give this another stir, see how it's cooking down. Yeah, so as it cooks down, it's gonna get quite thick on the bottom. Woo, it's like so molten, it's crazy. Basically keep mixing in the cranberries that float to the top. Mix them back to the bottom. And then we can also see as this cooks down, it's getting like darker in color and not as foamy on top. Love it. Okay, we got our eggs for the creamer. She said only about 2 heaping tablespoons of pumpkin puree. That's not that much. Dun, 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 dun. I bought 2 cans of our pure pumpkin today because they're $2.50 off per can. Cannot beat that. So I think when it's American Thanksgiving time, we'll make some pumpkin pies or tarts together. Or maybe the famous pumpkin swirl cheesecake. One of those items. So let's just measure out, I guess, into this little thing, 2 tablespoons. 2 heaping, she said. We'll go ham on it. And then the rest of this we'll pack up for Sunday. Let's say half a cup of pumpkin puree. I was gonna get just like the grocery store brand because it was a little less expensive, but there was not even a can left on the shelf. And there was like full of Edie Smith. But yeah, as far as the brand, I've never had an issue with this. But yeah, I'll usually only buy the pure pumpkin. I won't be the person that buys like the filling pre-mixed because I like to put my own spices and stuff in there. Our Thanksgiving is usually celebrated on Sunday and Monday here on the weekend, Wilson. Because I know that your guys' is usually on like a Thursday, right? Will that all fit? No, I think I gotta put it in a liter container. Okay, this sugar and everything might be good already, actually. Usually, we just bring it up to a boil. And let it cool. So that's what we got for the start of the creamer. It was just butter, half a cup of butter, half a cup of brown sugar, and maybe like a 1/4 cup of golden corn syrup. Now we're gonna let that cool before we add our eggs in. Maybe the pumpkin, we can mix it in and help it cool off quicker. I would do that. Now around this time of year, I remember, because my dad was like the breakfast brunch cook in our household on the weekends. He would like make pumpkin pancakes, stuff like that with the pumpkin puree that was left over. That's always yummy. And also pumpkin is like really good for dogs too. If people in here don't know that. Smells like a good batch of pumpkins though. And then I think the thing is, even with this, is they don't even use like a actual pumpkin variety. Maybe they do actually. Okay, 100% Dickinson pumpkin. But I know some of the other brands will use more like a squash rather than an actual pumpkin. Let's just get some water in that can so it doesn't get all sticky. Yeah, exactly, Dust. Pumpkin on the upset tum-tum. Goggles love it. Okay, let's go over here because I feel like this sauce is almost done. See how it's like going more like really dark ruby color? Cooking down like how jam does. I think we're gonna turn the heat off now and start to let that cool. I haven't tasted it yet, so maybe give it a taste as well before we jar it up. Where can I sneak this? Right there. Yeah, that's looking really nice. Okay, next up, we're gonna make some pumpkin pie spice. We need... Hey, she does link... Oh, no, so excuse me if you heard that little burp. She linked a recipe for homemade pumpkin pie spice, ground cinnamon. I don't know if I have ground ginger. I usually only carry fresh ginger. Nutmeg, cloves, allspice. Ooh, you could even put black pepper. I think I've also heard of this when people put a pinch of black pepper in their coffee. So that may not be bad. But I'm definitely gonna do the nutmeg and allspice I have ground. I think one that would be yummy. Not really pumpkin pie spice-esque, but cardamom. Almost like chai tea flavor going in. I only have whole cloves. Cinnamon, allspice, nutmeg is what we're gonna do. I think I'll leave the black pepper out. So we can probably get away with just putting a pinch of each of these in there. Oh, I've also heard of that one too. Yeah, the salt. That's a good one too, Greek. And then we just need 1.5 cups of heavy cream. Okay, so this is a little warm still. So first thing that we're gonna mix in, because we don't want to scramble our eggs. I think we should mix in the spices while it's warm. I'll just do like a little bit of each one. This is allspice. So that is really what they mean when they say allspice. It just tastes like all of these kind of wintry spices mixed together. Quite strong. Can always add more, right? Little bit of cinnamon. Ground cinnamon is also very strong compared to just a cinnamon stick. Use sparingly. And then we'll just do a pinch of nutmeg. I won't free pour that just in case. Mom laughs at me. Don't free pour the nutmeg. I don't know if we'll get into dividing the bread today, guys. It doesn't really look like it's rising at all. At least not too much yet. What do we have? Yeah, 5 minutes left on our timer for the first hour. But we will prep one more thing actually today. Drag it out a little bit longer in case the bread does start to rise, is we're gonna prep our prime rib for the sous vide tomorrow. Okay, that smells good. Next up, we'll add our pumpkin, and then I think I'll give this a little taste. Let's also add a little bit of the vanilla. So ground cinnamon is just ground up tree bark. Yeah. From like a special variety of tree. Do a nice teaspoon of vanilla. I know there's also different types of cinnamon out there that you can buy. And people are quite particular about that, but I've never really paid attention to it. Whoa! We got a raid. I'm sorry, but we like changed up our audio today, friends. I'm sorry that the alerts didn't go off, but we currently don't have a mixer. I will say, though, at least we do have a mic. Thanks, Floating Cozy, for coming over, sharing your wonderful community with us today. How was your stream? Are you still... Okay, what were you crocheting when we came in last? It wasn't a pumpkin, was it? I remember it was a really cute little thing, though. But yeah, I hope you had a wonderful stream. We're currently making some pumpkin pie coffee creamer. We got cranberry sauce on the stove, and we are waiting for our sourdough bread to rise. It looks good. It was a pumpkin pie turtle. Oh, that's the one. Yes. Did you get it finished or not yet? So is this coffee creamer kind of like a Tom and Jerry mix? If anyone knows what that is these days. I love Tom and Jerry. Nice, you got it finished. That's amazing. Well, I hope you have a wonderful Friday, whatever you are off to do. Come hang out, grab a bevy. We're just learning, making a couple different things today, getting prepped. It's Canadian Thanksgiving here this weekend. So we got lots of yummy things planned. Hi, Boosted, welcome in. Wait, you finished it and then you put it in your shop and it's sold out? Well, there you go. I actually love that so much. I wish I could do that with my food on stream. Okay, so the basis of this, I did link a really easy version of this recipe for the pumpkin coffee creamer today, but we did a little bit different. So I started with butter, brown sugar, and a bit of corn syrup to help stabilize the sugars. Cooked that until it like bubbled for like a good 5 minutes, and then we took it off the heat. We just mixed in cinnamon, nutmeg, and allspice for like our pumpkin pie spices, and then half a cup of pumpkin puree, not pumpkin pie filling, just pumpkin puree. So this is gonna help cool off the sugars, and we're actually like enriching this with egg, almost like how eggnog is. But we really want to make sure this is mixed evenly before that. This is looking amazing. I've never made this before either, guys. I just thought if I'm paying like $3.49 for a small thing of creamer, we might as well just make our own batch at home. So let's grab our whipping cream next. You could also use half and half or milk, she said. We're more like a double espresso shot with a little splash of creamer in our coffee people. We're not like big, I would say full-on latte. It's definitely more coffee than creamer. So that's why I think we can get away with something a bit more rich, like whipping cream. Also, I don't make this all the time either, right? It's like a nice little treat. So let's do the 1.5 cups of that. And before we do that, we'll mix in our eggs. So 2 large eggs, just whipped up until it's like really creamy and you don't see any of the white and yolk separated. And then we'll really mix this in good. I'm gonna temp this first. Because the thing is, when you add your egg, you don't want it to scramble from the heat. I'm gonna add just a touch of this first to cool it before we add our egg. And then the other thing, if you're weird about the raw egg in this, if you pour your coffee over this creamer in your cup, the heat from it being brewed over it is going to pasteurize your eggs. I really wouldn't worry about it. No, that wasn't supposed to happen. That's our hour timer on our bread. Okay, so really whipping that good. No scrambled eggers. And then I'll just measure out a little bit more of this cream. They said around 1.5 cups. Take this pork out of here. Forks are flying. Watch out. You're gonna lurk. Okay, have a wonderful nap. Is that what you said you're doing? Have a good nappy. Thanks for bringing your crew here. And maybe we'll see you again this weekend. Okay, and then the thing with adding cream, you don't want to overmix it too much because then you'll start to actually whip the cream, right? Whoa. And then on the recipe that I linked, she said to like strain this out, but I don't see a reason to strain it. Do we need to make a shot of espresso and share it to try this? Or what? I think this would also be yummy with like a chai tea. Huh? Samo says yeah. It looks like pumpkin pie filling. Good consistency, like it sticks to the spoon, but it's not super thick. That's really good. Bring this to Samo to try. I think it tastes way better than the store-bought one. I don't think I'd add any more spices. I still like to taste coffee. And like the sweetness and creaminess of it is perfect. Hey? It's really good, guys. Like that's actually delicious. We need to bottle this and sell it. Because the thing is, I don't know if you guys buy like International Delight or any of those other brands of coffee creamers. If you read the label, you'd be in shock what's actually in there. Let's just say there's a reason that they don't really have to be refrigerated. There's just a lot of stabilizers and like preservatives. Kind of scary, honestly. Okay, now how do we want to pack this up? I mean, it would be nice if we could put it in some bottles for pouring, right? It'd be kind of fancy. Also the same if you want to like share some, right? Yeah, I got 3 glass bottles. We always give the bottles a sniff test, even if they're clean. Because you never know. This one's not my favorite, but I think it's just from around the rim. It just tastes a little, or not taste, it smells a little like oily. I'm gonna leave that one to this side first. Okay, let's go grab a funnel. We don't want this to sit out at room temperature for very long. We want it to get it into the fridge ASAP. Does anyone in here even drink fancy coffees like this? Or are you like, this is not necessary? Lauren! Okay, Lauren, this batch of pumpkin pie coffee creamer we just made, I guess I'll have to make up the recipe today because I just made it myself, inspired by a recipe. Holy smokes, is it good. You're a pour over, splash of milk, spoon of sugar, pretty simple. But sometimes you do use infused sugars or make syrup for coffees now and then. Well, the thing is like, how much was this? This was like $20, right? So when you're paying $20 for a bottle of sugar, I was like, I can't justify doing this again. I'm just gonna start branching out and making my own. You thought it was gravy? That was a good guess too. Are you doing good today, Lauren? You've been having cometier coffee recently, which is new to you. What is this? I've never heard of it. Oh, also, Lauren being in here, guys, is reminding me of the Northern Lights yesterday. Anyone in here get to see the aurora where they live? I think this will just be 2 bottles. It's perfect, because then I can wash that other one. Little frozen pucks of coffee concentrate. What? Like, you buy that from a company? I really actually have to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. How do I mute this, Sam? I will be back in 2 moments, guys. Okay, I'm back. I whipped the bathroom door open so bad I like scared Sam. It just like slipped out of my hand. I don't know what to say. Okay, Lauren's going for a walk soon with loons. Yeah, we're having a good day. I think I want to go outside. The clouds are finally cleared. We had a really rainy morning though. You bought the coffee from Whole Foods, but you can buy it from the website. Beware. They'll try and get you in a subscription. So they'll show you the sub-only pricing. Okay. Website breaks down all the types of coffee too. They did a collab with Seth Rogen's coffee brand. I've heard of this. What's been like the best one you've had so far? Yeah, I have to stop there because we're really full. I think this will be perfect if I top up the other bottle. Spatula. Yeah, that's also true, Baker View. Making the sugars or sugar syrups yourself for drinks like can also be used with just like club soda, right? You can make fancy fruity drinks like that. Whole Foods only carries the one dark roast and regular. Medium roast for you is called Manos de Mujer. Interesting. We're intrigued. Okay, we are topped up, guys. We can't fit anymore. What the heck? This is gonna be like a staple in our household. Apparently means hands of women. Watch out. All wiped down, cleaned up. You just translated it. I love it. Okay, check it out. Boom, boom. Done and done. Next up, we will, yeah, it looks so much better, the color of it in this one. Got the old school Cook with Kate label. Back when we were on the West Coast. Who would accept this as a gift, though? Because I know that I would. We'll put those up there. Where's our cream? Yeah, that's going to be in stores soon. Kate's Creations. You still have some of those stickers, Dust? I love it. You should go put it on that salesman's car. Cook with Kate. Or you could be like Torino. Torino put one of the stickers on his back window on his vehicle. Then one day he came out of Walmart and someone stole it off. Titan! See, guys, he is alive. Yeah, Lauren. He was like, what the heck? I was like, I guess I'm more popular than I knew. Okay, first we gotta fish the cinnamon sticks out. Careful, because it's very hot. I don't know if you can see it steaming. Ooh. There's one more. Yeah, all bad things. It is like the funniest feeling though when you like come into a conversation and the people say like, oh, we were just talking about you. It's like, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Because even if the person says only good things, you're still gonna doubt them. Like, yeah, sure. Okay, let's try this because we haven't even done that yet. Citrus cranberry sauce for turkey, sandwiches, all the above. Also keep in mind that this is going to thicken when it cools. But isn't that a beautiful color? Blow it because it's hot. I think that's perfect. It's like just getting me in the back of my like jowl, let's say, where you get the sour feeling. But I'm worried if I make it too sweet, then it'll just be like weird with the turkey, right? But I think we're good there. You're usually a jelly gal, but you'll def have some of this. Yeah, like I grew up, my mom would always make homemade cranberry sauce and then just bring a jar of it. Like sometimes we would host Thanksgiving, like both sides of my family were quite large. Or if we went out, we would just bring a jar over to wherever. So good. It's gonna be a long time, Titan, for things to get back to normal. Like I can't even imagine, dude. Is the turkey ready? That'll be on Sunday. So now, I mean, it would be smart to let that cool a little bit more. But we can get some jars ready. One here for sure. Maybe a couple smaller ones. We're going to, I think, spatchcock the turkey on tomorrow's stream. And then we're gonna brine it overnight. We have a citrus turkey brine, actually, from Traeger. And then Sunday, we're gonna smoke the turkey. Okay, so now the question is, can we fill the jars without making a mess? One note on filling jars like this. If your filling is really hot and your jar is cold, you could potentially crack the jar. So just keep that in mind. I'm gonna put the rest just in a container like this. Oh, because it's not even really warm over here yet. So how I usually get away with filling the jars is we're just going to take this, run it under some warm water until the glass is warmed a bit, and then we don't have to worry. And then after this, we are going to unpackage our prime rib and season it and then vacuum seal it and get it prepared for our sous vide tomorrow. I cooked a prime rib like this earlier this week for my clients on Wednesday, and it turned out so dang good. I really want to try it for our little chunk of prime rib that I got on sale this week at the store. Okay, now you just gotta dry the outside off. Devin, what did you get from the store? Food? Well, I mean, there's lots of stores you could go to, so I'm glad that you got food. You set yourself up. Sam liked that answer. I don't know if you heard his chuckle. Okay, ready? Start scooping that goodness in. I try to not mess up the edges too much. If I keep these cooking skills up, oh shit, he might just subscribe to the channel. The pressure is on, man. Wipe the edges. And we're not going to shut this right now because I'm not canning this. But isn't that a beautiful jar? That's usually the one you put it in the fancy jar to give it away to somebody. But then the thing is if you give that to somebody, you should also know that you're going to get it back. Because the rule is if you give somebody something in a container and it's not a container that goes in the garbage, that person cannot give the container back empty. You have to give it back with something else in it as an exchange. These are important rules of life. I don't think everyone knows them. You're worried about winter, Titan? Hurricane loosened up a lot of trees. If you get an ice storm, more are gonna fall. That is insane. Like, actually insane. What a rule, Lauren, but you like it? Is it too crazy of a rule? I didn't think it was. Okay, so 2 smaller jars and then the rest we'll just put into plastic. Nice. What if you fill it back with rocks? Only if they're cool rocks. Like someone would, like me, would accept that. I always accept cool rocks. But they can't be lame rocks. You know what I mean. Like, there is a reason that our current bit goal is for a rock tumbler. But you'd really just be feeding into the content for that one, Titan. Okay, that was actually only half a liter in there. That's what I mean, guys. I said earlier that this would cook down to, like, nothing. Just a jar of quartz, imagine. It'd be amazing. Hey, everything is cooling. 3 things of sauce and 1 cranberry stain on the board for good measure. Just want to show you. She's not even moving. Well, she's like moving a little bit. I can tell it looks a touch different from when we put her away, but like this bread proofing needs to be all the way to the top of this bowl before we divide it. Don't know if that's gonna happen on stream today. Okay, next up. Where's the meat? Pan it. Pan the gold. Sandwich bread. Oh, yeah, yum. Like, rolls are so nummy Thanksgiving. That was always one of my favorite things. So much butter on the roll. So this is what I did Baker Vuke. Before we get into this. I used this recipe. If you want to follow along. I followed it to a T. The only thing I did was add 1 teaspoon of yeast to it. But this is what she says. It's from Amber's Kitchen. So this is what Amber says. Cover the dough until it's doubled in size. She doesn't say how long that takes the first round. But she says for the second time, it's 3 to 12 hours, right? Because it all depends on like how active your starter is, the temperature of your house, all of that stuff. So yeah, she didn't tell us what the first round of rising would be. I thought it would be pretty quick, but it's not. And like Dust says, that's the yeast you could do. That was so good. I need to do this for you. Thank you very much. It doesn't specify that it takes hours. She really didn't. She led us astray. But this is why I am doing the work for all of us today. So I guess I'll let you guys know what time we actually end up dividing it at. But here is our prime rib. And I had to search all over the city for this dang prime rib. No, I only went to, what, 3 different stores? 3 different stores until I found this. I wanted a chunk that wasn't too big. As you can see, this looks like it's just a steak, but it is like 2 inches thick on the one side and then just a single bone. We can open this up. But this was on sale when I bought it. And it's still just an insane price to me. But then what we did to like justify and not feel as bad buying something this expensive is then you go and look at what the price for prime rib from a steakhouse would cost. And just for 1 steak from a steakhouse, I think we were paying what, like $60? And that's with like maybe a couple things on the side. So the fact that we can have all of this, like I'll lift it up. It looks so freaking nice, the thickness of it. We can get all of this meat for, what is it, $41 this was. And then we're easily gonna get enough for 2 people. Yeah, I just can't justify it. So let's season this up and then we're just gonna vacuum seal it. And then tomorrow morning, last time I did this, I put it in around 7 a.m. so that it can be done for 3 p.m. We'll put it in the circulator and let that cook until 3 p.m. on stream, and then we just sear it and eat it up. And it turned out amazing. Looks like that. You could also do it reverse sear. It's just as good. But I don't think I've ever cooked prime rib like this for myself before, so I'm gonna try something new with the equipment that I have. And then all I did last time to season it was salt and pepper and just a little bit of granulated garlic. Very simple. Because tomorrow when we go to sear this in the oven, we're gonna slather it in compound butter. So that's where a lot of the flavor is gonna come from. Remember this little log that we had chilling in the fridge? That's gonna get slathered all over the outside surface and then browned. You want some of this? I know last time you were in here we had steak like this too. So we're gonna season this first on both sides with salt and pepper. I just did garlic on the one side last time. And then we'll get it vacuum sealed. And then that's one step already done for tomorrow, right? Like, I could easily do this in the morning, but is this something I want to be doing at 6:30 in the morning? Probably not. Smoking? Why are we talking about marijuana in chat? Did I mention something? And so we're gonna do a nice layer of salt, because it's a very thick piece of meat. And I'll sprinkle the pepper. Let that sit for a sec. I'll go grab the vacuum sealer. Can of bees, if you please. That's still the best one, Lauren. Blondie, what the heck is happening? And I see that you changed your name to Yellow. That's a little crazy. That's a little crazy, my guy. When I took my butter out, it looked like something else. Oh, the log. It looked like a spliff? Nice. I get it now. Okay, I'm just gonna give this a tap, I think. Press this on, adhere it. This fat cap too on the one side. Yummy yum. Okay, see how the salt just like adheres right in? And now we'll flip it. Boom. And then the only other thing that I didn't talk about yet was the temp on the circulator for this. 133 Fahrenheit. So then if we think about that in terms of like steak doneness, that's like just over medium rare. So we know that this steak is not going to get overcooked at that temperature, and will also allow us to sear it without it getting well done. It's a really thick piece. Okay, gotta dry my hands back off so I can sprinkle the salt. Your birthday is tomorrow? What are you doing for it? That sounds fun. Happy birthday if I don't see you. Gearbox man, you made it. Work's over in a few minutes. Whoop whoop! Nice. Okay, next. You're old, you stop counting birthdays even? Titan. Don't do that. It's a special day once a year. Okay, that's good. Also just put pepper like all over the board. Okay though, don't worry. Give it a wipe. Put that to the side a moment. Back it up. All right, next one. We bring the robot over. So this is going to suck all of the air out. We're going to make a bag to vacuum seal. Maybe we should plug it in first. I mean, if you've been here before, you know me. If you've been here before, you know me. We're gonna double seal it. Lauren knows. Shh, quiet. Quiet, everyone. Don't tell them. Devin's just getting drunk and eating food. Are you old enough to drink even? The correct answer should be no. I'm still doing it. You're older than me? Oh no. Or at least that's what you think. Lauren, 69k channel points. Not quite there for the Samo. Okay, we got the double seal. Nothing's gonna go in there. And then we just kind of like eyeball how much of this we need. Usually need like about 1.5 inches by where you're gonna seal at least. So let's do like that. And we'll cut it. And then we'll open this up. You'll be 30. You're not older than me, sucker. Did I mention citrus in the marinade? Not for the steak. We just did salt, pepper, and then on the other side, we did some garlic. This side has garlics. And then we're going into the bag. I did say there was citrus in the turkey brine, Lauren. I did say there was citrus there, so you're not that crazy. Just a bit. Just like me. You have enough to redeem the candlelit dinner? Okay, is this how we should do it? Titan, do you have internet? We could do a Zoom candlelit dinner. I'll set it up for you guys. Don't worry, I'm the server. I will be the hostess of the server. And also the chef, I suppose. You guys just have to sit and enjoy your date. Okay, now we got that in there. I'm just gonna vacuum seal this myself so I can really control what it does. Let me press the button. I actually am 33. How did you know? Good guess. Scoots, hanging out in the background. Only one here today. At work, you're saying you're the only one? And hi, Scoots. I was just talking earlier about dehydrating the sourdough starter for people. Okay, now we make sure all the air is getting sucked out good. Seal. Everyone in chat is younger than us. That's wishful thinking. Just thought of something, gonna see if you can order fruit cheese for next spring. This is what I discovered this week, Titan, about apple tree seedlings, and actually some other ones too. Another YouTube channel I watch, I'll write it in chat for you guys. It's called Goldshaw Farm. And I think he's out in Vermont, right, Sam? I think he's out in Vermont. So what he does is they just like pressed a bunch of apples for cider. And then all of the pulp with the seeds and stuff from the pressed apples, he just takes all of that and then spreads it over his mulch beds on the farm. Did I do a double seal? I'll press that one more time just in case. But yeah, he'll spread out the apple pulp with the seeds over the mulch, and then the next spring you get apple seedlings coming up. And then you could like plant them on your property or sell them to people around you. I thought that was so cool though. Like, what an amazing way to not waste anything. Scoot, you're the only one in your group and department. School is out today, so a lot of people are out. Well, that's probably a cool feeling, being all alone in the office. Hopefully you get finished up soon and then you're free too. Okay, look at this. Our steaky steak seasoned and sealed for tomorrow. So now that just goes in the fridge. We got this back here. Like the bread is rising, but really slow. So I'll just take some photos later when we divvy it up and stuff. And then we're gonna use this tomorrow. So 7 a.m. I'll have this filled with water up until like that line. And we go boop, 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 boop up there. Set the temperature just like how you would do an oven. But this you can do Fahrenheit or Celsius. 133 Fahrenheit. That's medium rare on the steak. Put it in the water for 8 hours. Should be coming out around 3 p.m. tomorrow on stream. And we'll sear that up and eat it with the rest of our meal. It's gonna turn out amazing, Michael. So you can cook other stuff just like that as well. Chicken, pork, really anything. I've never sous vide fish. I don't think you need to. It's a little bit too delicate, but like any other proteins, yeah, go for it. We'll be streaming tomorrow. We'll be streaming on Sunday. Don't worry. I do have to go to a dinner tomorrow with family after stream, but that's the only thing I really have going on this weekend as far as Thanksgiving goes. The hurricane ruined your fig tree and 2 of the apple ones? Actually, you know what, Gramblorf? I think we've only sous vide salmon once before on stream, and you know what? It was very good. I remember this now. Okay, catching up as well. Carson, speaking of sealers, your local pizza shop has a half sheet pan size chamber sealer. Stared at it for a while waiting for your pizza. Like, they're not selling it, you just were appreciating it in their space. I wonder what they use that for in the pizza spot. Maybe, like, they probably slice all of their own deli meats and then vacuum seal them? I don't know. Shredding your own cheese and vacuum sealing it? Okay, so that's what they do. So they'll make up their pizzas, IQF them, so individually quick freeze, and then they just vacuum seal the pizza for you to take home frozen. That's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So you can do more than just what I did, right? With the sealer. Lauren forgot it's hunting season as of a few days ago. Pheasant and turkey. You'll have to get Luna the orange shirt for today, yep. Don't want little loons running through there, especially her coloring. And Sam says orange for you too, but maybe she already has it. That is what I was thinking, Gramblorf. Yeah, we wouldn't want to sous vide a delicate white-fleshed fish, but anything that's a bit more fatty, salmon, black cod, also known as sable fish, would be good. Good job, Lauren. I'm proud of you. You have a vest. Okay. No. Especially your guys' little size. Yeah, Luna is more pheasant size. So dang cute. All right, this is what we have concocted so far today. Look at our yummy homemade cranberry sauce in the jar, ready to go. Our homemade pumpkin pie creamer for coffee. I mean, this would even be good in just like to mix in milk, honestly. Flavored milk. And then lastly, but this is going to be finished off stream, unfortunately. Also, this is a lot of dough to rise all at once, right? 3 loaves of bread in here. So this is going to take a bit. I need to wait until is all the way to the top edge. So I'll send you guys some photos in Discord later on when I divvy it. But like I said, if this takes too long to rise the second time, I'm just going to put it in the fridge overnight in the pans, and then we can bake it tomorrow in the morning on stream. That's all right. A flavored milk with a shot of espresso? You want that before we finish? Yeah. Okay. Okay, we're gonna try out the coffee creamer. Also, hi Mish, I was about to message you after stream asking if you're even alive. How are you feeling?
No.
Yeah, she's also dying of sickness. She's in jail, Sam says. Okay, let me switch up this scene. We'll make a shot ski. Try out this creamer. How is this view? You had a 40 Celsius fever for almost 2 days straight? Is that even humanly possible? That is wild. I'm glad you're doing better. I went a little too far up. Hi, this is our coffee. Hope you enjoy it. We are going to make Samo a yummy coffee today. What do we got here? Okay, we're emptied. We're gonna go with a Napoli. Napoleon! We are going to do concentrated. This is gonna also be Halloween-esque themed, I feel. Let me wipe this glass a moment. It's not as clean as I would like it for this. You were told to go to the hospital if the fever didn't come down on the 3rd day. I'm glad you're still here. See the little skull on there? It's like the only rocks glass that I have. Okay. So I think it will look amazing if we pour the creamer in the bottom, kind of layer it, and then we pour the coffee over and then top it with milk. Look at that thickness. We'll go like there. Okay, next. Press the button. Oh. Mish, did you make the elixir tea that I sent you? Look at the layers, guys. Oh my gosh, that looks amazing. This weekend's cooking looks intense. Like us? It's because we have Thanksgiving holiday. Okay, now we're gonna try and pour the milk in the layer too. But it's probably gonna mix in. Yeah. Oh, I know we're gonna mix it final, don't worry. Oh, I get it. Obviously, I'm gonna have a taste too, but look at how nicely that mixes in, guys. That's like an important part of making your own creamer, right? Can't have any floaties. It's not sweet. Do we have ice to take? Well, I just made that one this morning. Oh, you might luck out. Yeah, it's not super sweet at all. An iced pumpkin spice. think I can only fit one. Okay, now you have to come and try it with us. I'm pretty sure when he drinks this, guys, it's gonna go all on his mustache. You wanted Kim to make you something, but he got sick too? No! So there's nobody? Just Albert's... Nurse Albert is taking care of both of you? I know, right, Scoots? But, like, I don't know about you guys in the States, but I always make sure I celebrate both Thanksgivings now. Lauren has returned with an apple cider donut. Did you make it? And also, did you make the applesauce? Okay, ready? We're coming... Oh, wrong one. Back over. This is how it looks. Here's the little skull. Can you even see it? Barely. That's Samo. Samo has the mic on. Oh no. Mish, I hope your ear holes are enjoying the audio of the stream, because we got new mics. We got new mics. DJI. Look, Samo has his own now.
Booyah.
Booyah.
Booyah kasha.
It's better than the store-bought one. I can probably put more. Let me know. But I love the consistency. It's not sweet, just like a little bit of spice flavor, guys. But the thing is, you still taste the coffee undertones. I'm not the person that just like drinks coffee but then covers up the flavor of it. No, I like to complement the flavor of it. What the heck? That's what you get. Okay, so stay tuned because I think we have like probably 3 more hours for the bread to rise, but I think it's gonna be amazing.
This is what you've done.
Like, look at the froth. Oh, and the vanilla and spices on the bottom. Guys, it's a swirler.
You asked for this.
What machine is this again?
What machine is what again?
I don't know. What is Lauren asking? What machine is what again? Oh, the coffee machine. That is Nespresso. I think it's called the Cities collection, right? I will write it. So that coffee maker makes, what is it, 4 different things. I literally only use 2. Like, I think we can get away with a different version.
That
Hi.
was spectacular.
Oh my
I
god.
need 14 more of those right now.
Where did it go? But yeah, you can do espresso. I like it because you can just do hot water. So if you like to just make teas, that's helpful. And then it also has the frother attached on the side. With some of the other ones, the frother is just by itself. That's about it. We like it. It makes really quick and easy coffees. Time to burp him. Burp the baby. It's a good machine. Like, go online, guys. Nespresso has a lot of sales. Like, when do they usually have the best sales? Christmas time-ish? Around Christmas, so coming up.
Boxing Day.
Boxing Day, so you might get a machine,
and
like,
Black
if
Friday.
you do the subscription with them to get your coffees.
Sometimes.
You can sometimes get a machine for $1. $1.
That's how we got
So
ours.
check it out. Because it ain't bad. And, like, we're all sorts of coffee people. We've done French press. I have, like, the little stovetop espresso thing. But as far as ease of making coffee and also how yummy it tastes, I really like them.
All gone.
Okay, bye, Lauren. We're probably gonna do the same. I'm gonna go on a kitty walking adventure. Guys, we'll be back. You gotta get fresh air. We'll be back tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific, hooking up some more stuffs. So hope to see you then.
Run away!
Prime ribby going down tomorrow. Celery root mash. If you've never seen celery roots in your life before, I'm using those. What else? I forget what else is going with it, but it's gonna be all good things. Oh, and we're spatchcocking and brining a turkey tomorrow too for Sunday. Let's see who we're gonna go raid today. I can't believe we've already been on for 3 hours. That's wild. Whoa, those look amazing. The cinnamon rolls from a date night in. It looks like she might be almost finishing up. But I think we should go raid them. Did I not spell that right? No, I did. Okay. Setting it up. 2 more hours, Scoots. You got this. It's almost the weekend, and you don't have to listen and deal with anyone around you. Enjoy the peace. Okay, you guys know where to find me if you need anything. Discord, Instagram, all of the socials. I'll be around. Thanks for chilling with us today. Scaramouche with the biddies, the raid from Floating Cozy, White Dove with the 56-month resub. Guys, I hope you had fun today. Just prepping a little bit of things for the holidays. Hopefully I inspire you. For those of you who have Thanksgiving next weekend, maybe you can try some of the recipes we make. Otherwise, hope you have a wonderful rest of the day, night, wherever you are in the world. And yeah, I'll post photos when we start getting into this bread tonight of how things go. I'll let you know. Let's go see a date night in and spread all of our deliciousness over there. Love y'all. Be safe. And I'll see you next time. Bye.